Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector and I am back. I wanted to go through some of the highlights from the first quarter. I didn't get to do as much game hunting as I did during the end of 2021 or in the last quarter of 2021. And I knew the first quarter of 2022 was going to be slow, but I did not expect to find some of the things that I found in the wild. Just a quick recap, found a lot of consoles and equipment in the wild, a lot of handhelds this quarter. So I'm going to show you just some of the handhelds that I was able to get. And then also picked up some controllers, was able to get some great handheld stuff. And then also had some really great pickups from GameStop and won a few cool online auctions as well. So really hyped to show you some of these pickups here, and I'm not going to do too much jabbering or blabbering. I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into some of these pickups. And I'm going to start it off with the Switch, get some of the Switch stuff going. So we had two GameStop pickups here for the Switch. The first one is going to be Ever Forward on the Nintendo Switch. And this is kind of like a dream-based open world, kind of like puzzle solving game, like adventure game, story about a girl and her mother who just works too much and doesn't have enough time for her. It's kind of somber, kind of reminds me in a lot of ways of Gris, but a cool one. And then we have Carry On. GameStop had this on sale for $19.99, so I figured I'd pick that up. This is like a cool Metroidvania style game where you play as like this alien, like this octopus-like alien. So it's pretty cool. Grab those two there. Then two more Switch finds, or one more Switch find, and then a pre-order here. So we have a GameStop pickup here in R-Type Final 2. So I found a loose copy of this there at the GameStop. It was on sale, I think, for 17 or 18. So I thought that was a good deal for R-Type Final. And then a pre-order of Rolling Gunner came in from Strictly Limited. I know there was a version that you could get from PlayAsia, but I was patient. I waited for the Strictly Limited version to come. And there it is, Rolling Gunner over Power, two really cool shmups there on the Switch. Then two more pickups here on the Switch. We got another GameStop and another pre-order game that came in, so we'll lead off with the GameStop game. So here we have CKO Shooting Stars Alpha, just a collection of really cool shoot 'em ups, all put together here on this really cool cart for the Switch. And this is cool because it actually does come with a manual in there, so that's fun. And then got a pre-order that came in from Limited Run, and that's Ruby. This is kind of like a hack and slash RPG type game, so this is a pretty cool one, and I was glad that I was able to pick that up, or get that, rather that came in during first quarter. All right, so now let's go ahead and dive into some DS games here. So we've got a quick pickup here, so a couple quick ones. We have Kirby Planet Robot on the 3DS, so got a sealed copy of that. And then also picked up Project Zone X, or Project X Zone rather. Got this from one of my local game stores on the 3DS. Another cool and unique one to find there. And then got some pretty cool DS pickups during the first quarter as well. So we'll go ahead and start it off with some of these cool RPGs. We got Lufia, Curse of the Sinistrals, and this is a really cool top-down action-based RPG that I found on the DS. Went ahead and picked that up. Got a complete in-box copy of Commando Steel Disaster. I've talked about this game a ton on my channel. Love it. This is like Metal Slug on steroids. Really fun game. Check it out if you haven't. And then got a couple more really cool RPGs. We'll go ahead and show you this one. This is Draglade. It's an Atlas RPG. Picked that one up on the DS. And then was also able to get Izuna and Izuna 2 on the DS. So again, just some more action RPGs. And the Izuna 2 is actually sealed there. Pretty good copy. So these are two fun action-based RPGs that I got on the DS during first quarter. Glad that I was able to get that. Moving right along here, I've got, this was a cool find from a local game store. So Jet Grind Radio on the Dreamcast. That was a pickup as well that I found. Added that to my small Dreamcast collection. And then also got a really cool PS3 game in here. So Blades of Time, not perfect, a little bit of cover art damage, but this is a really cool game, and it's out for, I think this also came out on the 360, but the graphics I think are a little better on the PS3 for this one. So went ahead and got that there, and then had some really cool PS4 pickups during first quarter, and I'll show a couple of them to you. So I have part 1 on the Vita, but I decided to get part 2 of Gravity Rush for the PS4. GameStop had this for $19, and I got it during a buy 2 get 1. So got a good deal on that. Gravity Rush 2 is a really cool game, a very good looking type of game. That's my kind of game, just kind of different, cool looking RPG. And then this is one I'm really glad I got. This is Rez. Now I do have Rez on the PS2, but this is the version that I think you can play with the VR goggles, and man, that's got to be a trip. So I don't have the VR goggles yet, but when I do get them, I'm looking forward to playing Rez. Then also got a couple of shoot 'em ups, I want to say, and beat 'em ups on the PS3. Here's one of the shoot 'em ups that I got, and that is Battle Garega on the PS3. So this is a really cool shoot 'em up that originally came out on the Sega Saturn, was re-released on the PS4, and the music on that game is amazing. And then, you know, I love my hack and slashes, so Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. So this is kind of like a continuation of the Berserk game that came out on the Sega Dreamcast, and just a really cool game, hack and slash, you know, that's right up my alley. And then another PS4 game that we have here, picked up Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan, and again, got this during GameStop's buy 2. Really cool game, really cool game. I've heard a lot of things about the controls, and you know, I think this game got mixed reviews, but I think this is going to be one of those gems on the PS4. I know it's out on the Xbox as well, but it's a really cool game. I would check that out. Then I couldn't believe it, but this quarter I've had more luck than I've ever had. And it's funny because you run into things when you're never looking for them, but I was never really looking for GameCube games, but I kept running into them first quarter. So this Tom and Jerry's what is this, Whiskers War, right? So War of the Whiskers. So this was a pretty cool GameCube game that I found at the local game store. I think dude sold it to me for 15, so that was pretty cool. And then I ran into Pikmin while I was at a thrift store, so it was crazy. A copy of Pikmin for $5 at the thrift store, so I thought that was really sick to find a GameCube game out in the wild. It gave me hope for this spring. Then during this quarter, also picked up Wario World. I had a lot of sales this quarter, so sold some games, turned some of those profits in, and picked up a complete clean copy of Wario World. Wanted to have that. Very fun game. And then also added Ultimate Spider-Man. I was going to get this on the PS2, but I really liked the way it looked on the GameCube and the gameplay, so grabbed that there, added it to the GameCube collection. All right, now during first quarter, also had some really gnarly PS2 pickups. So one of those being Predator. So I went ahead and got Predator Concrete Jungle on the PS2. Very cool game. The controls are not as bad as I thought. The controls are actually pretty good. So picked that up. And then also got this gem here, Shadow Hearts Covenant on the PS2. Don't really do a lot of like horror type games, but this is a really cool kind of like turn-based RPG. The mechanics are really cool. They're different. So went ahead and got that. Shadow Hearts Covenant. And all these just complete in box, all inserts, very clean copies. This was a really cool find, and I was super glad to find this quarter. And that's Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the PlayStation 2. So I was super stoked to find this. Not the optimal condition. I try to get games in better condition than this, but it was a really good price. And I want to say that, I have this actually on the Dreamcast, and I find myself not really wanting to mess with the disc so much just to avoid breaking it, because, Dreamcast has those jewel cases. So this will be the version that I actually play when I'm ready to play it. So I was really glad to find that, because that is one I will be playing the heck out of that. And then we'll go ahead and go through some Xbox 360 pickups. So went ahead and got Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions on the 360. Was really stoked to get this. I know there's been a lot of attention around Spider-Man games, but I found a new copy and was able to use some trade credit to get that. So that was a very cool pickup. Then I love my shmups, and was able to get a copy of Raiden Fighters Aces. So this is a really cool shoot 'em up on the 360. There were a few of them on the 360, and went ahead and added that to my small but mighty 360 collection. And then the last 360 pickup for the quarter was a copy of Akai Katana. So this is another really interesting shoot 'em up. Very cool looking game on the 360, and that one was added as well. So that does it for the console pickups and some of the more modern handhelds. Gonna go through a couple Game Boy Advanced games that I was also able to pick up this quarter. Got some really cool ones. We'll go ahead and start with the run and gun shooters. I love those. First up is Contra Advanced. The Alien Wars. So this is pretty much Contra, the same one you played on Super Nintendo. It's just on the Game Boy Advanced. Very cool, very fun way to play Contra. Then this was a really great pickup. I love this game. So Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. And this is just one of those games, very colorful, beautiful sprites. It's just Kirby. It's really like a really cool action Kirby game. Almost has a lot of beat 'em up elements to it, but it's just really cool. I like the fact that you can get different powers and stuff, and Kirby games are always fun. And then last but not least, went ahead and got Super Ghouls and Ghost on the Game Boy Advanced. So I was really stoked to get that as well. So some really cool Game Boy Advance pickups. And as I said, while out and about, I was able to get some really cool equipment. And down at the local thrift store, they had a couple of PS3 controllers that I was able to find and pick up and snag. So I was able to get my hands on the PS3 controllers. I'm slowly building my PS3 collection game by game, controller by controller. I don't have a console yet, but I do have 2 PS3 controllers that I picked up at the thrift store. Don't know if I'm going to keep or sell these, but I think I'm going to keep them just in case I run into a PS3 that doesn't have any controllers to go with it. If I can find one for under $30, then I'll get it. That'll complete the cipher. So that's the 2 PS3 controllers I found. Then also same thrift store, they had a PS2 console, and taped along with this PS2 console, they also had a PS4 controller. So I guess whoever was doing the packaging that day must have got confused and thought that this PS4 controller also went with a PS2. So that's good news for me. I think used PS4 controllers go anywhere from $30 to $40. So the controller in and of itself paid for the bundle, and I thought that was cool. So, but I may keep it. May keep the PS4 controller. Then at the same thrift store, I just kept having luck at this thrift store. I was able to find a new Game Boy Advanced purple. So look at that thing. It was super minty fresh, super clean. Had all the stickers in the back. Seriously, looked like it was barely ever played. Came with actually a cool carrying case, but was able to get that. So cool Game Boy Advanced, very clean. Same thrift store. They had also a PSP. So I thought this was pretty sick. So the Game Boy Advanced, when I got that, was $25. I need to wipe the dust off this PSP, but this PSP was also $25. So $25 for a super clean PSP. It works. It came with a memory card. It had a 2 gig memory card in it. Also had a working battery in it. So PSP was very clean. There goes the back. The back isn't like super scratched, right? Like almost nothing on it. Minty fresh. Only thing on this thing are the smudges and the dust from my rag. But yeah, I thought that was pretty sick to be able to get a Game Boy Advanced and a PSP, both $25. That thrift store is just full of goodness. And then same thrift store was able to get so this isn't the cleanest DS Lite that I've gotten there. I've actually found better DS Lites in much better condition. The reason why I really like this DS Lite is because the screen on this DS Lite was the brightest that I've seen. And I've bought a lot of DS Lites. I've probably got about 4 DS Lites from that store. But just the screen on this one was super bright, probably the brightest I've seen. And I think this is going to be the one that I keep to play games on. So I have a couple other ones that I'm probably going to sell just because they don't really, they're not as bright. All right, and last but not least, this is the last pickup that I'm going to be showing here from the first quarter, but this one was a doozy, and this is the Game Boy Micro. So yes, I had a Game Boy Micro when I was in undergrad, and I never forget, I spent a ton of time playing my Game Boy Micro at night, and this little console, the screen on this thing is super bright. You could play a ton of games on it, all the Game Boy Advance games on it, but this thing is just really sick. I'll just bring it in a little bit closer, but it's super small, it's super tiny. You got the top there, you charge it up, you throw the cartridge in there, and you're good to go. And this is just one that I was able to get and pick up. Won this online in an auction, and it was really cool. Really glad to add that one. So it was quite an eventful quarter, just jam-packed with a lot of goodness and a lot of good stuff. I'm trying to just get really picky with the stuff that I pick up, trying to avoid and dodge any filler, and then any of the shovelware that I do wind up getting. It's really shovelware that I want to have. They're probably good games. They're just not expensive games. And I said it in videos before, not every game that's expensive is good, and not every game that's good is expensive. And it really just boils down to what you want to have in your collection. But that's enough jabbering and blabbering for today. I think I'm going to be doing another video that's going to be showcasing all of the sealed games that I have that I'm considering sending off for grading. I've never really done the grading thing before, but I am considering it, and I'd be interested to know your thoughts. So leave your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for stopping by. I am the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.